Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm on here. If you're listening in real time, doing two episodes in 1 week. Hey. However, um, executive dysfunction is like really getting to me the last few days. My brain's like, it's so hard to message people back or to message period. It's so hard to like read anything that requires extensive brain use. Um, Leaving the house just to go across the street to get a few things feels so fucking hard. Um, but hey, let's do another podcast episode. Like, what the fuck, brain? Weird. Um, do you know also like not only I get on here and say this nonsense stuff because I hope other people can connect in some way in case they haven't, heard it before. Or, I don't know, just all that cheesy shit that I've said before. Um, But also, I think should I live in a few, like who knows? We don't know how long we're gonna live for. I can't plan for like older age because I don't know if I'm gonna get there. That's just the way I've lived my life. It's just realistic to me. And I make plans as I go and they make them for several years ahead. But anyways, um what was I saying? Oh no. Plans in the moment. Don't worry, I ask myself too, why? Why do I try to talk? Where did the fucking thought go? Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me. Sorry, didn't mean to waste your time with that. Um, so I'll just move on. It's like, what the fuck? I swear, it's like every time I press like the stop record button is when the thing comes to my head that I fucking forgot about. Like the other day, I as soon as I stopped recording, I remembered why I went on that military tangent, and I had no idea. I was like, how the fuck did I get to all of that when I just was trying to say that it's scary, like there's anybody is being attacked and veterans there was a veterans that just like look like me, we didn't make a whole career out of the military. We did like several years or so, but just like I just saw if any of you have seen like the videos like on status quo, you'll know who I'm talking about. I was like, oh my God, like the brazenness of these assholes and the trauma. Like, look at all the generational trauma that's just being embedded in our bones. You know what I mean? Fucking disgusting. But that was like, I was trying to get to that. How I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But, I guess nothing should be shocking anymore. Um, what was it? Wait, I think the thought came back. Oh, yes, it did. Woohoo! Uh, yeah, I said woohoo. Does anybody still do that? So, wait, is that thought leaving again? Oh my God, come back. Yes, okay, there it is. I'm just gonna, so like, in a few years, shall I live like any longer than 5? I don't know. That's the time I'm putting on it. I think I would like to listen back to some of these episodes to be like, oh my God, that's how I sounded. Or, but, not that I think I sound terrible, but, like, people like I'm trying to grow as a person, and I don't want to harbor all of this hate that I have for evil people, which is why I've been just bitching about it lately, and I'm like, this is not, I can't just be bitching all the time. So I'm just gonna try to just get this out there in this episode and then like make little comments along the way and not devote a whole episode to like just, it's more like not necessarily bitching, but like just thoughts that I'm having, things that I'm thinking, things that I wonder about. Like our brains never stop. You guys know what I mean? Like this is just shit that like constantly I'm trying to pick apart in my head. Like I don't know. Like I just need to understand things that apparently are not a they're not understandable. Is that a word? I don't know. Um Oh, but also, did I say I wanted to do an episode too because like before I take a gummy, so there's like less dry mouth. By the way, I'm not gobbling gummies. I just in case anybody thought that. I don't gobble them. I'm just, like I may be partaking in gummies, as medication, not to get high cuz I don't like to lose control. Um Not that I think you do, but just in case. But have I felt it before? Yes. But anyways, what was I saying? Questionable choices, I know. Why, brain? Why'd you say this was a good idea to get on here and record? Um, they do wonders for my sanity. That's what these fucking things do. They just do. Like when I feel really neurotic, I take the shit like medication because like there's times like that it really does work too. And by the way, I'm just gonna admit this. Do not do this. Um, I have to say that. Um, but don't do this. I've just decided, so like, sorry about this fucking tangent. This is weird. Um, but no, I'm not sorry because this is just how my brain's working and maybe you can relate. So I am not going back to the VA anymore. I've talked about that. The VA can suck a butt for all I fucking care. Um, so I get all of my medication through them except the estrogen, which I get through the lady doctor place. And I've been on Wellbutrin. Wow, what am I? 40? How old am I? Am I 42 or 43? One of those. But I have been on Wellbutrin since my early 30s. Yeah, about 32. I think it's been about a decade. I've been on both Wellbutrin and Prozac. And the Wellbutrin, so like I had PMDD so bad. Like, thank goodness I didn't have the thought to do any kind of anything to put myself out there on the internet because I was a fucking monster. That's how I felt for like a solid like week and a half per month for years. Felt like a monster. Like, God, it was insane. I felt so out of control. And it just was like not getting any better. And I was having like more mental health issues. Like, I just didn't know what to do with all of my fucking rage. And so, um, sorry about that. Just one more. Okay. Um, so I went to a psychiatrist and which was also like probably not a great time to try to quit smoking, but Alicia doesn't smoke and smoking smells and smoking's not good for your health. And I was like, yeah, I should probably stop smoking too. And Wellbutrin, I believe, used to be like marketed as Zyban because that's what would help people. Like it quells the appetite. Like like nicotine seems to do or whatever. Just like suppresses the appetite and you're not like it's like food, you know what food noise is? It's like cigarette noise. Like I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but that's so like that was kind of like an added benefit, not to mention the energy that comes with taking Wellbutrin. But really like that just really helped my brain so much. It just settled me down. And excuse me. The Prozac did too. And so, anyways, so it's been about a decade for both of those, and I'm not going back to the VA, and they prescribe it, and the refills have run out like months ago, kind of like 3 months ago. So it was almost like how they send these little emails like, if you want more medication, please make an appointment to come see your doctor. Da 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 da. And I was like, I don't want to come see anybody in the fucking VA. I don't care if you had nothing to do with what's being done in the VA. I want nothing to do with it anymore. I'll just keep the little ID that I have that says VA so that I can get discounts places, but that's it. I can't. Mm-mm. So I've decided to wean myself off of like the medication, and that's the part I'm telling you, don't do it. Even though I am. And it's been 2 months. So I was taking, I guess I'm saying this in case I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you it works. I'm just explaining where I'm at. And to my future self, if you're still alive, hello, this is where we're at on January 23rd, 2026. So it's been 2 months since I went from taking 450 milligrams, which I think is the max for Wellbutrin, daily, down to what's 450 minus 300, so 2 pills. I'll just go by pill number. So, like, instead of taking 3 pills every day, I take two for the Wellbutrin. And I've been doing that for 2 months. Um, Everything seems to be going well, even though I know that like months down the road, when I'm completely off of these meds, I could have still like side effects and stuff. I'm aware of that. And with the Prozac, I was taking that on a daily basis. And then I went down to 3 times a week for that because it's got like a half life and stuff. So not too shabby. And for the last couple of months, I felt pretty good, aside from like being neurotic. So and I'm coming up on the last bottles of each of those meds. So I have decreased down to one Wellbutrin pill a day and two Prozacs per week. And, like, yeah, I did my little research and I was like looking up, like, how do people do it? Like, of course, doctors are like, you shouldn't do it without doctor supervision. Well, fuck you. I could, if there's information on the internet and people have done it, I'm gonna do it. That's just what I do because I don't want to go to the fucking VA. And I actually, like, I'm not anti meds. I used to be because my mother was, and I picked that up from her, but I'm not anti meds. I have been wanting to get off of these meds for a while because I don't think I really need them anymore. And so this is how I'm doing it. And I feel pretty okay right now. Not too worried. But anyways, where am I at with time? Okay. So yesterday in America, there was these hearings, and like I don't want to like explain everything because I feel like that could be boring and confusing the way I try to explain stuff. But like Jack Smith, you can look him up if you're not aware of who he is in America. But like I'm somebody who nerds out with these hearings. I've talked about like years ago when they did those January 6th hearings. I set alarms to wake up to watch these happen in real time because I knew I was watching history and it was so cool. So like Jack Smith finally got to have his day and have like the public hear, the shit that the Republicans tried to keep behind closed doors. And I was excited about it because justice and fairness, like, it's not fair to hide your bullshit behind a fucking door. Like, let's bring it all out into the public, Like, why would you do that to somebody like him? And so I wanted to see him get his day. So the good news is, like, I decided not to set an alarm for this one because I it just I was gonna watch it, but I didn't feel like I wanted to get up to watch it. And good thing I didn't because I was like an hour and a half after it was going. I got up, I started watching, and it was like the hearing was just like somebody from the evil side. Sorry, I know this is just how I feel. Um, it's not, the whole side isn't evil, but like the ones who spoke were. So like you get 5 minutes to listen to some dumb fucking asshole from the evil side make up lies and look ridiculous, and then you get to hear 5 minutes from the good people side who are rational and logical and come with facts and evidence and praise Jack Smith for the kind of person that he is. I mean, hello. That's called being a human. And I was so excited that like anybody who watched these, sorry, I'm such a dork about this stuff. I fucking love it. Except like Jim Jordan can go suck 10 butts. I don't care. Line them all up, Jim. Go suck them all. Because I couldn't even get through his opening. I was like, this is just evil. And I actually don't have to listen to it. And I was arguing with my brain. I was like, do we have to listen to all of this? But we need the information to like, no, we don't. It's the same shit that they always fucking say. So I was so happy to fast forward through all of their stuff. I caught some of it here and there, and I knew that like the media, the independent media was gonna like show clips of what they thought was important. So I just skipped all of their stuff, and it was great. It was like a 5.5 hour long thing that I cut in half because I don't want to do that to my mental health. That was like a legit reason too. Like I just get just this, I get this rage inside me. It gets to a point where it's like I just get this rage. It just comes out of nowhere. And I'm like, I've had my fill of these evil fucks for right now. Um, so I nerded out on that. That was fucking awesome. And kudos to him. I don't know how he did it sitting there and being professional. I didn't see a fucking look of annoyance on that dude's face, despite all of the embarrassing bullshit going on the evil side. Jack Smith was so professional. And I really respect people like that because I know inherently I would never, never, I don't care. You know what? There are professional people, and then there's professional people who like to be unprofessional sometimes. And I wouldn't be able to do it. Mm-mm. No, no. I think it's amazing that people can. And like, so sorry, I was just in awe of that because I imagine myself like my mouth would have shot off right away. I mean, shit, I almost got kicked out of the military because of my fucking mouth. I don't, I didn't know when to shut up. And I went to college for like criminal justice, which was super interesting. I thought I was going because I wanted to be a detective, and like, I thought that was interesting because I was like it's obsessed with true crime. And then I started taking classes like forensic photography and stuff that involved numbers and calculations, and I was like, this is not the life for me. Then I thought maybe I could be like a police officer. And then, going through college, I was like, no, I do not want to do that. Because in the actual reason back in the day was because I don't know, I don't have a good sense of direction, and I just wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to be a cop. Just no. But now, like, there's other reasons why I would never be one. And then I was like, maybe I'll be a correction officer. So I went on 2 field trips, 2 different years. It was the same field trip, but I was president of the Criminal Justice Club, and we went to a federal prison and a state prison. I got to meet my idols, some of the serial killers. Just kidding, they're not idols, but I was fascinated with them because I have books about them. And then I realized, like, no, I don't want, if a correction officer, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody out there. It just seems to be like a zookeeper to me. Because, like, what's being corrected in these facilities? Not much. Just not much. There's no corrections happening in the majority of prison environments. Like, let's get real. I mean, there are good programs in prisons. They do exist, but like they're not prominent. And so I was like, more interested in the psychology of people and like why they do the things they do, which is why I'm sitting here every day trying to wonder, like, or to just get inside the head of somebody like that. Like I've talked about that before. It's just, you never know what's really going on in somebody's head, but it doesn't stop me from sitting here and trying to figure it out. Like, why would somebody be so cruel? Like, when did this start? All that shit. Um, You know what I can't wait for is I can't wait for the trials, the actual trials that are going to need to happen after all the evil gets swept out of the Black House, the Sooty House, the Clown House, the Crazy House, the Wackadoodle fuck that. The White House, just fucking knock that shit down at this point. I don't want anything to be white anymore. Like, I am embarrassed to be white. It's just fuck this. But like after all of the evil gets swept out and we try to, we rebuild as we always have, um, I will be setting alarms to wake up to watch those trials on TV because justice and fairness. And it's not like out of maliciousness, like, haha, motherfucker, even though it kind of is a little bit, but mostly it's because you know what? Like, people are suffering right now. Stuff's bad. There was no thought that came to my mind. It just was a blink just now. Sorry about that. So like another thing is Alicia and I finally had like a chat about our safety. Um, because these motherfuckers who call themselves ICE They're doing anything and everything. They're planting themselves in with the protesters to pretend to be a protester so that they can start, you know what I mean? And then just there they are. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're doing shady shit like that. They roll up in places like in the dark of night. They've been rolling up in like the suburbs, like when everybody is apparently sleeping or like in their houses, as quiet as can be, and then just start going into houses. And so whenever I have conversations with Alicia just about safety stuff, like COVID was a I had lots of conversations with her about, like we need to do this and that and this and that. And she doesn't seem to like those conversations. And I know that's more her stuff. Um, I don't know how to explain it properly, but like, so I tried to approach the chat yesterday as like, because I'm always the one that brings these up. And I was like, I'm not bringing this up to be like fear mongering or, oh my God, I'm so scared. This is just like being rational or logical, in my opinion. And I was like, when you're home, as soon as you come into the house, you need to double lock the doors. Um, because her room is where, it's supposed to be a living room, but like we've rearranged the house so that we both get our own rooms and a bedroom, and hers is by the front door, and she has a habit of coming in and like just not locking it. And I know that's a normal human thing, but these days, we've got a double lock. We have I just said use it as soon as you come into the home, lock it, because I don't want nobody coming up into the house before we have a chance to prepare. Um, we don't believe in having guns in the house, but I have some Smith and Wessons from the military, so I have a few of those around the house in case I need to shank somebody, because I will. I will. You come into my house, I'm fucking shanking you. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go out with glory. Um, I didn't mean, sorry. Was not trying to, I'm not meaning to joke. Haha, it's not, none of this is funny. But like, I'm not gonna just let them take me. And so I told her that it's not like I expect this to happen, but like, I've lived my whole life in prepare mode. You guys know what that's like. Um, Like, oh my God, do you know how many times we run through so many scenarios? Just what if this could happen? What would I do if this happened? And, la 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 la. So, like, that's just naturally where my brain goes. And my brain told me this is about the right time that, like, we need to be really serious about our safety and getting whistles and stuff. And, like, if you're out and about and you run into a situation, it's making sure that like you pull out your phone and you record, but like you need to just keep your distance. I don't want anything to happen to her. Um, cuz she's like, "Well, I work in like she works in a big building." And there's security and stuff, but I was like, she also doesn't watch the news like the kind of stuff I've been watching. I was like, they don't care about security. Like they come right in and do what they want. It's just a fact. They've got so many videos on this. The conversation went well, and I felt okay afterward. And I was just like, it's just being careful, and it's not like hiding out because I refuse to like I'm gonna hide out in my house because I'm so scared. But like, need to be smart and be more aware when you're out and about. That's all. And that's natural for me. It's not natural for her. So that's I don't mean to sound rude when I say that. It's just what it is. Anyways, okay, last thing is a snowstorm is coming. We're supposed to get like 12 to 18 inches, and you know how happy I am. But also, some things I worry about with snowstorms. The first thing is the roof, because we're still trying to get out of debt, and you know, I'm sure the roof is fine, but it's gonna be like in the negative zero. Wait, is zero negative? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's gonna be 7 degrees tops this weekend for where we live. And then like you know that part on the weather app where it says here's the temperature, but here's what it feels like. So it would say like the temperature is 8 degrees but feels like -6 or some shit like that. Like, so it's gonna be, the snow's just gonna be sit there. And I also worry about like what if the power goes out because we don't have a backup, what are they called, generators, some big box or something that like when the power goes out It's a backup power thingy. You probably know what I'm talking about. We can't afford that right now. So, and then I think about like, then the pipes will freeze, and then, how am I going to keep the animals warm? Like, this is where my brain just goes. So, while I'm happy for a snowstorm to come here, because, people need to stay inside their boxes until it gets nice out, that's the deal with the weather. Stay inside your houses so I don't have to hear you or see you. Um, So I'm looking forward to that part. And do you know what the best part is? Is it's happening during the weekend. As long as it stays on its course and doesn't like get pushed out, it's going to happen this weekend, which means I don't have to worry about the outside that much. That's so lovely. So lovely. I don't like doing manual labor. I got to go now. Um I hope this was helpful. My God. Uh, I just really, this is what my brain told me to do, is just get this shit out of your head, because what I'm doing now when I get off of here, um, because I'm still working my way up to like reply to like messages and stuff. I don't like people feeling ignored. It's just so hard. Just when your brain tells you we don't have the ability to do this right now. And I'm like, why? It's sitting here. I'm talking right now to you guys. And like, why can't I just type something to somebody? I don't understand why my brain does this to me. And so my brain's like, we'll get to that later. But in the meantime, when you're done recording, you need to go and like do your, I do like a weekly spring cleaning kind of thing. And I usually do it around like Thursdays or Fridays, because the weekend comes and I want to be cozy during the weekend. I want everything vacuumed and cleaned and fresh. Um, so I don't have to worry about doing that like on the weekend. I don't know. I enjoy it. So stupid, but I do. And pulling out like a space heater thing, because like, just in case we need that. So I'm gonna go prepare for this delightful snowstorm. We got snacks and everything. So, okay. I don't know what this was, but if there's anything that you related to, I would like to hear from you. Don't worry, I don't wait like weeks and weeks to message people. It's just sometimes, usually twice a week, my brain's like, this is hard. We need to like do this later. Oh, I'm still talking. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping yourself safe. And um bye, right? Okay, goodbye. Yeah, bye. Oh my god, bye. I got to bye. I don't know why I'm still saying bye. Bye 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 bye. Goodbye.